Today we're going to be talking about or lecturing on facial makeup. We've already had our demonstration, so today we want to go over the different steps, the cosmetics, and so forth. The first thing I want to do is give you the rule for facial makeup. There's one simple rule. If you've had hair coloring, you know what that rule is. Dark colors take away or keep attention from being drawn to an area. Light colors call attention to or highlight an area. So dark colors are called shadows, and you know we don't see what's in the shadows very well. And light colors are called highlights, so we see what's in the highlights. And the reason this is the rule of facial makeup also is everybody has some very good features, and everybody has some features that are not so good or that we want to improve upon. So if it's something that we want to call attention to, we use a lighter shade of, such as eyeshadow, lipstick, blushes. We use the light color to bring attention to that good area. If we've got an area that needs some improvement or is not straight on the face or is too wide or too narrow, whatever, we use some dark color on it to take attention away from it. Let me give you an example, and this is some of what we're going to go over today, but it'll help you to understand. Let's assume we've got the client with the real sharp pointed nose. And as we studied hairstyling, we knew we didn't put a center part there because that pointed right at it. We'd want to put a side part or a diagonal part in it to keep from drawing attention to it. Now with makeup, we can further hide the sharp pointed nose by putting a dot of darker foundation on the tip of it. What does that do? Makes it appear to go back, so it doesn't appear to be sticking out anymore. With the nose, if the nose is too wide and flat, then we would put the dark on each side to make that kind of disappear, and now the nose appears to be not so wide. We could also put a little dot of lighter foundation on the tip of it to bring it out, giving it more length as opposed to wideness. So as we go into each area, we're going to talk about how the light and dark or the shadows and the highlights work. But that's the rule of makeup, is the lights or highlights and the darks and the shadows. First thing we want to talk about is our cosmetics for facial makeup. Foundation is just what it sounds like, and that's why it's called foundation. Foundation lays the groundwork for all of our other makeup applications. It's used as the base. It evens the skin tone and color. It itself conceals minor imperfections. And it also should protect the skin from the climate, dirt, and debris. In other words, it should have an SPF. We want a foundation that has a sunscreen factor in it to protect us from when we're outdoors. Foundations come in liquid, sticks, cream to powder, also tinted moisturizers. It should give a natural coverage with a slight sheen. Most of these foundations contain mineral oil or essential oil and are referred to as oil-based. That's good for normal to dry skin, but we need something else for oily skin. So we also have oil-free products that are water-based. And in these, water is going to be the main ingredient. Water-based comes in liquids, cream to powder, or powder foundations, which give a more matte or dull or non-shiny finish. These also help to conceal minor blemishes and discolorations. Foundation chemistry, what are they made of? And we need to know a little bit about this because certain individuals have problems with certain types of makeup. They can't wear them because of sensitivities or other problems. They are predominantly water, mineral oil, stearic acid, cetyl alcohol, propylene glycol, triethylamine, some lanolin derivatives, borax, and insoluble pigments. They may also contain surfactants or detergents, emulsifiers, humectants, perfumes, and there's where most of our problems come from, and preservatives such as paraben. The formulation of these products is generally suited for dry to normal skin and give medium to full coverage. We want to be real careful about our perfumes or cosmetics that contain a lot of perfumes, because that is what causes sensitivity. Liquid foundations are suspensions of organic and inorganic pigments in alcohol and water-based solutions. We usually have to shake them up, so that tells us that they're probably a suspension. Bentonite is added to help keep these products blended, but sometimes they still separate. The formulation of this product is generally suited for clients with oily to normal skin conditions who desire sheen to a medium coverage. So needless to say, the person that has a lot to cover up, this liquid foundation is not going to be the product for them. Powder foundations consist of a powder base mixed with a coloring agent or pigment, also perfume, especially effective for oily skin. Cream to powder foundations are moist on application, but then they dry to a powdery foundation or a powdery finish. Many foundations contain barrier agents such as sunscreen and silicone. This protects our complexion again. To use the foundation, the very first thing we've got to do is get the foundation color that matches the skin tone. Skin tones are generally classified as warm, cool, or neutral. You remember what the warm tones are?
I think it's the yellow.
The yellow. The reds. And the oranges. Yes, they're classified as yellow, orange, or red-orange. Cool tones then are just the opposite, blue, blue-green, or blue-red. And you might ask, who has skin that is blue, blue-green, and they even consider blue-red as a pink because blue is the predominant or carries the most molecular weight. Who has these skin colors? Sometime we're going to have to use these cool in order to offset a person that has an awful lot of red in their face. If they've got an awful lot of reddish cast in it, the last thing we want to do is put a red-orange foundation on them. We want to counteract. So remember, on our color wheel, we have the red here, and green complements it or offsets it. We have the orange, and blue counteracts it or offsets it. So I want to keep that in mind. However, with cool skin tones, we have very few Americans that have that. The people from India have very cool skin tones. Neutral skin has equal amounts of warm and cool colors. Foundation should be matched as closely to the actual skin tone. If foundation color is too light, it looks chalky or gray. And if it does that, it's lighter than the skin and it exaggerates any imperfections we've added it to. If the color is too dark, it looks dirty or muddy. The best way to determine the correct foundation is to apply a strip of color on clean skin on the jawline. That means here. You know, we went to the store and we applied it right here to see if it matched. But the skin here is a lot different texture and a lot different color than what's found on your face. Blend it in once you've applied it to the jaw. The color that disappears is the correct tone. Because remember, we don't want this to look like makeup. We want them to look like a natural beauty. Liquid foundation, tinted moisturizer, and tube foundation are taken from the container with a spatula, then applied to the face with a fingertip or sponge. Powder and cream to powder foundation may be applied with a moist or dry facial sponge. Read your manufacturer's directions. Some of them like you to wet the sponge with water first and apply it. Some of them you just use the dry sponge. Concealers are the product used to cover blemishes and discoloration and may be applied before or after foundation. Now, a little trick of the trade here, and when it tells about concealer chemistry, it says it's similar to that of cream foundation. Most of the time we have to change our foundation colors from winter to summer. I have to use a darker one in summer than I do in the winter. I usually use my winter makeup is my concealer. It's much less expensive. It's usually made of the same chemistries, so, you know, what's the point in buying them? However, they do sell them. They're more expensive. Concealers are used to cover blemishes and discoloration. They are available in pots, pencils, wands, and tubes or sticks in a range of colors to coordinate with or match natural skin tone. Any form of concealer may contain moisture or control oil depending on the brand. Some specifically treat acne and oiliness, while others provide anti-aging ingredients and moisturizing benefits. Now, the same rules apply to a degree of the light brings forward, the dark takes back, but I prefer using the concealer and then putting makeup on top of it. So if I've got a dark zit here, the last thing I want to do is put dark concealer on it. I want to put light concealer because I'm trying to hide this. And then I'm going to come with my foundation and put it over the top. Then we have our face powders, which is fine cosmetic powder, sometimes tinted and scented, that is used to add a matte or dull finish to the face. It improves the overall attractiveness of the skin by enhancing the skin's natural color. It also helps to conceal minor blemishes and discolorations and the toning down of excessive color and shine. It's also used to set the foundation. And my favorite of all of these is the translucent, because what happens sometimes when you use colored powder is it will change or give the appearance of changing the color of your foundation. So that's the last thing. If you've chosen your foundation carefully, the last thing you want to do is change the color of it. We usually use loose powder or pressed powder, and in the salon most of the time we're going to use the loose because we can powder a little bit of it out and pick it up with our brush to apply it, and we don't want to be double dipping. Face powder consists of a powder base mixed with a coloring agent and perfume. Ingredients in most powders include talc, zinc oxide, titanium dioxide, kaolin, chalk, zinc, stearate, and magnesium stearate. Bactericides are also added to inhibit the growth of bacteria and preserve the product. Face powders are available in a variety of tints and shades and in different weights. Light and medium weights are generally best from dry to normal skin, while a heavier weight is effective on skin that is normal to oily. Face powder should match the natural skin tone and work well with the foundation. We don't want it caked on or spotted or streaked on the face, and that's what sometimes happens with colors too. Apply face powder after foundation using a fresh cotton puff. Press the powder over the face in the desired areas, then use a powder brush or another puff to remove the excess. When you're recommending a product to a client and you want to sell them powder, you may recommend the pressed or the loose. But I would certainly try to stay away from coloring unless I'm sure I've got it matched to their foundation. And that goes with buying it from the same company and get exactly the same color so we don't worry about streaks. Then we have our cheek color, may also be referred to as blush, blusher, or rouge. It can come in cream, liquid, dry, or loose powder. It's used to color the cheeks and the skin beneath the cheekbones. It gives a natural looking glow to the face and also helps to create more attractive facial contours. Now, with cheek color, to me, if you've got a foundation underneath it, I prefer the powder. This is just giving you a personal opinion here. I prefer it because when you put on your foundation and then you put a cream or gel on here, it tends to muddy with your foundation if you're not careful. But remember the rule of the shadow and the highlight with this. If a person's got a real round face and doesn't seem to have any contour to their cheeks, put a darker tint right here. Have them go, and you can see where that line should go, and put that dark line there so it looks like it's going in, and that breaks up some of the roundness of the round face. Powdered cheek color is simply pressed or loose powder that has a coloring added. Cream and liquid cheek colors fall into the categories of oil-based and emulsions. The oil-based formulations are combinations of pigment in an oil or fat base. Blends of waxes and oily liquids create a water-resistant products. Cream cheek colors contain water, thickeners, and a variety of surfactants or detergents that enable particles to penetrate the hair follicles and the cracks in the skin. So we know by that if they're penetrating the hair follicles that falls into the alkaline term. And we know that oftentimes our detergents or surfactants are added to hold this in a suspension, in other words mixing oils and waters. Cheek colors are applied over foundation. Lip color. Lip color may also be called lipstick or gloss. It is cosmetic in paste form, usually in a metal or plastic tube, manufactured in a variety of colors. It is used to color the lips and to enhance or correct the shape of the lips. Some lip colors contain sunscreen, and if we're going to stock lip color to sell, we need to make sure we're selling one with sunscreen in it. Others contain moisturizers to keep lips from becoming dry or chapped. Let me tell you, a lot of these major cosmetic firms will do my name cosmetics, meaning you open your salon and you'd like to sell something that nobody else sells. They will label their cosmetic and put your name on it, your shop name or whatever. It can be your own name brand. And that's an interesting concept. There was a shop here in town one time that had that, and they had gotten with a real good company. It was excellent makeup. And they made all kind of money because customers that didn't even come to that shop bought that makeup. So you might want to consider having that, have something a little unique. Lip color is available in a variety of forms: creams, glosses, pencils, gels, and sticks. All are formulas of oil, waxes, and dyes. Castor oil is the primary ingredient in lipstick. Other oils used are olive, mineral, sesame, cocoa butter, petroleum, lecithin, and hydrogenated vegetable oils. Waxes commonly included in the ingredients are paraffin, beeswax, carnauba, and candelilla wax. It also has its coloring matters and related tints. Iron oxides, mica, and annatto are natural colorants sometimes used in liquid colors. How do we use them? Let's go back to our law again of color, and this includes the lip liner. If you've got the client that has the real tiny lips, then remember what brings forward the lighter shade. So you might want to line the outside with a dark color, that rolls it back. Put the light color here, that pulls it out. If you've got someone that's lips are too big, put the light liner on the inside, on the outside edges. Remember, that pulls it forward. Put the darker here, that takes it back, giving the appearance of smaller. Lip liner is a colored pencil used to outline the lips. It also helps keep lip color from feathering. It's often used when doing corrective makeup. Lip liner comes in thin or thick pencil form and is available in a variety of finishes. Some lip liners double as lipstick for ease of application. The lip liner is usually applied before the lip color. It helps to keep the lipstick from feathering out along the edges. The book tells us it should not be dramatically darker or brighter than the lip shade. However, we know with different clients' personalities, some personalities can carry off the dark, light look. Line the lips beginning at the outer corner of the upper lip and working towards the middle. Repeat on the opposite side. Connect the center peaks with rounded strokes following the natural line of the lip. Outline the lower lip from the outer corners in, and then apply liner on the lip, staying within the outline. Then we have our eyeshadows, and notice the word eyeshadow. It doesn't say eye color. So that means we want to put a shadow effect there. What do we want that shadow to do? Take it back or bring it out? If we've got really large eyes, we want to put some dark color to make it set further back in the head. But if we've got small eyes that are deep set in the head, we want to put the lighter colors on to bring them out, make them appear larger. These eyeshadows are available in almost every color of the rainbow. There's warms to cools, neutrals to brights, and lights to darks. Some powder eyeshadows are designed to use wet or dry. They also come in a variety of finishes, including metallic, matte, frost, shimmer, or dewy. If you're working on the older client, like 40 or over, all you want to use is the matte. Stay away from your metallics or your shimmers. Eyeshadow is available in stick, cream, pressed, and dry powder form, and usually comes with an applicator. Stick and cream shadows are water-based with oil, petrolatum, thickener, wax, perfume, preservatives, and color added. Water-resistant shadows have a solvent base such as mineral spirits. Pressed and dry powder shadows are composed much the same as pressed face powder and powdered cheek color. Using eyeshadow. When it's applied to the lids, the eye color or shadow makes the eyes appear brighter and more expressive. Generally, a darker shade of eye color makes the natural color of the iris appear lighter, while a lighter shade makes the iris appear deeper. The only set rules for selecting of this eye makeup colors is that they should enhance the client's eyes, and that color choices should be more subtle for daytime. If desired, eye makeup color may match or coordinate with the client's clothing. A highlight color is lighter than the client's skin tone and may have any finish. A base color is generally a medium tone that is close to the client's skin tone. A contour color is a color in any finish that is deeper and darker than the client's skin tone. It is applied to minimize a specific area. And there again is our shadow rule, take away, or our highlight rule, bring forward. Then we have our eyeliners. Eyeliner is a cosmetic used to outline and emphasize the eyes. It is available in a variety of colors, in pencil, liquid, pressed, or felt tip pen form. With eyeliner, you can create a line on the eyelid close to the lashes to make the eyes appear larger and the lashes fuller. Eyeliner pencils consist of a wax or hardened oil base with a variety of additives to create color. They are available in both soft and hard form for use on the eyebrows as well as the upper and lower eyelid. We want to be real careful when we use them on the eyebrows because they're not meant for us to shave our eyebrows off and then draw them on with the eyeliner pencils. And they're talking about eyebrow colors too. And this goes with our eyebrow pencils as well as our eyeliner pencils. These eyebrow pencils are used to add a little bit of color to lashes that may be real light colored, whether the client was born that way or they've turned gray or whatever. So be real careful using them. I will use an eyebrow color pencil on a client myself, but the eyeliners and the mascara, whenever I do a makeup application, I have the client to do it because we're dealing with such a troublesome area here. We also have a caution here on the eye makeup. According to the American Medical Association, eye pencils should not be used to color the inner rim of the eyes because this can lead to infection of the tear duct, causing tearing, blurring of vision, and permanent pigmentation of the mucous membrane lining the inside of the eyes. That's another reason I like to let them apply it. Our mascara is a cosmetic preparation used to darken, define, and thicken the eyelashes. It's available in liquid, cake, and cream form and in a variety of shades and tints. Mascara brushes can be straight or curved with fine or thick bristles. The most popular mascara colors are shades of brown and black, which enhance the natural lashes, making them appear thicker and longer. Mascara and eyebrow pencils should generally coordinate so there are no harsh contrast. Mascara is available in tube and wand applicators. Both are polymer products that include water, wax, thickeners, film formers, and preservatives. The pigments in mascara must be inert, meaning unable to combine with other elements, and are usually carbon black, carmine, ultramarine, chromium oxide, and iron oxide. Some wand mascaras contain rayon or nylon fibers that help to lengthen and thicken the hair fibers. The mascara can be used on the top and the bottom lashes. Some other cosmetics that we may find are our eye makeup removers, and that's just what they do. Remove eye makeup. Most facial cleansers will also do that. Grease paint is a heavy makeup used for theatrical purposes. Cake makeup is a shaped, solid mass applied to the face with a moistened cosmetic sponge. Gives good coverage and is generally used to cover scars and pigmentation defects. So they're saying this is not something that you're going to generally use all over the face. You're going to use it, just when we've got a problemsome area, maybe when somebody's been injured, had a bad cut on their face. And then you have some other makeup brushes and other tools, and most people set up their own desires of what they prefer to use, such as your powder brush, your blush brush, your concealer brush, lip brush, eyeshadow brushes, eyeliner brush, angle brush, lash and brow brush. We also want to keep tweezers around, and that's to remove excess facial hair as we see it. Also an eyelash curler, and we want to be real careful with the eyelash curler because of pulling the eyelashes out when we squeeze down on them to make them curl. We want to take care of our brushes, and the American Medical Society says now, or American Medical Association, that we should throw out all of our makeup when it's 6 months old and replenish it because we've dipped in and dipped out using it on there and it's full of bacteria. So we also want to make sure that we wash our brushes real well and make sure they're dry. We also have to have some disposable implements when doing facials, and that would be like our applicator sponges, powder or cotton puffs. If we're doing this in the salon, we want the throwaway mascara wands, because once we've contacted the client with this equipment, we can't dip back into our products. If we do, we take their bacteria back in there. We want to have our spatulas, our disposable lip brushes, our sponge tip shadow applicators, cotton swabs, cotton pads or puffs, also a pencil sharpener. But we don't want to use a pencil on this client and then turn around and sharpen it and use it on the next client. Make sure they have brought theirs. Makeup color theory, and what we're going to do here is learn about different color theories, what's complementary, what blends, and this is the same theory we use in hair color. It's the same theory you want to use in your home decorating. We're going to start out with our primary colors, which are fundamental colors that cannot be obtained from a mixture. And our primary colors are yellow, blue, and red. Secondary colors are obtained by mixing equal parts of two primary colors. And actually all colors come from some combination of these primary colors. Yellow mixed with red makes orange, and we see this on the color wheel. There's our orange, and if you will notice, it is between yellow and red on the color wheel. Green is also a secondary color, and it comes from the mixture of blue and yellow. Violet is the other secondary color, and it comes from a mixture of red with blue. And in between those, you're going to see your tertiary colors, which are formed by mixing an equal part of a secondary color and its neighboring primary color on the color wheel. And if you will watch this on the color wheel, we've got violet, which is a secondary. We mix it with blue, and it becomes blue-violet. We've got violet. If we mix it with red, it becomes red-violet. We've got orange. If we mix it with yellow, it becomes yellow-orange. We've got orange. If we mix it with red, it becomes red-orange. We've got yellow-green. If we mix green with yellow, we get yellow-green. We've got blue-green, and that's where we mix green with blue. So our tertiary colors are always going to have two names. Yellow-green, yellow-orange, red-orange, red-violet, blue-violet. And these color wheels help us to decide in hair coloring. We're not going to get into in-depth from now because we're in makeup, but decide which is complementary. A complementary color is going to always be directly across. We can remember some of our complementary colors because red and green are our Christmas colors. Red being a primary, green being a secondary. And that's how they're going to always be, a primary across from the secondary. Blue, the complementary color to it, is orange. And they're exactly opposite. Then we have, all right, where's it at? Yellow, right directly across from it is violet. So if you notice, we got a primary and a secondary again. So the understanding of that helps us to find something that is complementary to the color. And when we say complementary, when we're wanting to get rid of too much red, we're going to use a product that has some green in it. If we want to get rid of too much orange, we're going to use something that has a blue in it. If we've got too much green in the face, we're going to add something that has some red color in it. And that's whether it's foundation, eyeshadow, lipstick, or whatever. We also want to talk about our warms and cools, because when we're talking about primary colors and secondary colors and tertiary colors, we do not distinguish of whether they are warm or cool. Learning the difference between warm and cool colors is essential for our success. It's the basis for all color selection, and understand the difference enables us to enhance our clients' coloring. Warm colors are the range of colors from yellow and gold through the oranges, most reds, and even some yellow greens. So let's talk about our warms. Let's start here with the yellow. How far around does it go? To the red violet. So we know then everything else on the color wheel are cools. Cool colors suggest coolness and are dominated by blues, greens, violets, and blue reds. You will notice that reds can be both warm and cool. If the red is orange based, it's warm. If the red is blue based, it is cool. Green is similar. If green contains more gold, it is warm. If it contains more blue, it's gold. So if it's yellow green, it feels warm. But if it's blue green, it feels cool. You may hear people refer to a color as having a lot of blue in it. For example, the lipstick has a blue base, or that blush is very blue. Does not mean that you're actually seeing blue as in navy or as in the blue here, but it just means it's got that blue cast or tone to it. So how do we select our makeup colors? Keep in mind, there's a simple way of choosing colors. The art of makeup application allows for more than one way to achieve the result you're looking for. Once you learn the basic rules of color selection, then you can break them to suit each client. As you look at the color wheel, think of it as a tool in determining color choices. There are three main factors to consider when choosing colors for a client. You want to consider their skin color, their eye color, and their hair color. When determining skin color, you must first decide if the skin is light, medium, or dark. In level, when we talk about tone, we're talking about the color, the warmth, or the coolness. When we're talking about level, we're simply talking about how light or how dark is the skin tone. We also want to decide, is it warm or cool? You may not see skin colors truly in the beginning, so we have to practice this. A neutral skin tone contains equal elements of warm and cool, no matter how light or dark the skin is. Remember to always match your foundation color to the color of the skin, or use the corrective techniques. Once you have determined if the skin is light, medium, or dark, you may choose eye, cheek, and lip colors to match the skin color in level. Meaning if we're working on a client with really light skin, the last thing we want to do is put really dark eyeshadows or whatever on them, because that makes the skin appear that much lighter. You may try contrast, however, for more impact. Most skin tones and levels can wear a surprisingly wide range of eye, cheek, and lip colors. Skin color is light. You may use light colors for a soft, natural look. You may use the medium to dark colors to create a more dramatic look. If skin color is medium, medium tones will create an understated look. With medium skin tones, we might want to go to light or dark tones to provide more contrast. Also, that's going to appear a little bolder. If skin color is dark, dark tones will be most subtle. Medium to medium light or bright tones will be striking and vivid. Remember to think about your client's personality too before you put anything in here for a drastic change. Be cautious when choosing tones lighter than the skin. If the color is too light, it turns gray or chalky. Look for translucent, shimmery colors if you are choosing these tones. Let's talk about our skin tones for a minute and what is light, or what is warm and what is cool. If it's light skin and it's warm, it's going to have a yellow, gold, or pale peach appearance. If it's light skin and it's cool, it's going to be pink or slightly ruddy or reddish looking with florid undertones. If the skin color is medium and it's warm, it's going to have yellow, yellow, orange, or red. If it's medium skin and it's cool, it's going to be olive with a yellow-green look to it. If the skin color is dark and it's warm, it's going to have the appearance of red, orange-brown, or red-brown. If the skin color is dark and it's warm, if the skin color is dark and it's cool, it's going to have dark olive, blue, blue-black, or ebony in it. The biggest discussion is how do we complement color for eyes, and every different makeup company and most every different cosmetology book is going to tell you a different way. So as we begin recommending eye, cheek, and lip colors, neutral's always a safe choice, but sometimes we don't want to be safe, do we? We want to do something out of the safe range. The neutrals contain elements of warm and cool. They work well on any skin tone, eye color, or hair color. They come in variations of brown and gray. They may have a warm or cool base with brown tones. Or you might choose a plum brown, which would be considered a cool neutral. An orange brown will be considered a warm neutral. Charcoal gray is a cool neutral, as is blue gray. Contrary to popular belief, matching eye color with shadow color is not the best way to enhance it. That only creates a flat region. So when we talk about eye color, what should we do to complement it? We want to go back to our color wheel, and I know we're not going to see a lot of eye colors because brown eye color is not on here. But if we look around for something that kind of appears brown, we decide, is it a warm brown or is it a cool brown? And we can look on this color wheel by turning and seeing where our brown's at. And what's opposite it would be our violet or our blue violet. And believe it or not, companies are now saying if your eyes are brown, violet or blue violet is a complementary color. So you want to look and find something complementary to it and not always blend it to keep it from looking like a flat surface. Complementary colors for blue eyes. Orange is the complementary color to blue. Orange contains yellow and red shadows with any of these colors, and then will make the eyes look bluer. Common choices include gold, warm orange browns like peach and copper, red browns like mauves and plum, and neutrals like taupe or camel. So when we say this, that complementary colors for blue eyes, that orange is the one. How many times have you ever seen orange eyeshadow on anybody? It's kind of scary until it goes on and explains that it's gold or warm orange browns. Complementary colors for green eyes, there we are with red. And how many times have you ever seen red eyeshadow? So reds do have a tendency to make the eyes look bloodshot. So use your brown-based reds or other color options next to red on the color wheel. That would be red-orange, red-violet, and even violet. Popular choices are coppers, rust, pinks, plums, mauves, and purples. Complementary colors for brown eyes. Since brown eyes are neutral and can wear any color, recommended choices include such contrasting colors as greens, blues, grays, and silvers. And then we go on and have our cheek and eye color, cheek and lip color. We should coordinate these. We shouldn't use a bright pink on the cheeks and then a bright red on the lips. If you stay in the red-orange tones on the cheeks, you should stay in it on the lips. If you stay in the pinks on the cheeks, then you should stay on it on the lips. So let's review our color selection steps. Determine skin level, whether it's light, medium, or dark. Then determine the skin undertone. Is it warm, cool, or neutral? Determine the eye color, blue, green, brown, or a combination. Determine complementary colors. Remembering what's complementary. If they've got green eyes, what's complementary? Red. Now, that doesn't mean we use red eyeshadow, but that means we stay in that area. Determine hair color. Is it warm or cool? Remember, we don't want our makeup and our face to be exactly the same color as the hair either. Choose eye makeup colors based on complementary or contrasting colors. Coordinate cheek and lip colors within the same color family, meaning warm, cool, or neutral. Then apply the makeup. Be sure you have your client consultation. You want to know what her desires are. This room here would be a poor place to have a client consultation and try to choose colors because we've got blue walls and we've got fluorescent lighting. Fluorescent lighting always gives a cool appearance to colors. So if you can get in natural lighting, that's an excellent place to get to try to determine what she's got and what we want to counteract. Remember too, with special occasion makeup, this is when we can be a little more creative. And this is when they're going out in the evening, and usually the lights are going to be dimmer, so we want to use bolder colors as we do that, as we fix them for a night out. But do not confuse that with everyday makeup, because it would be way too bright and bold for going into the office to work every day. Then we have our corrective makeup, and we've talked about that all through this. How to narrow the wide nose, how to take the length off of a sharp nose, how to line the lips. Corrective makeup can be very effective if applied properly. However, a less experienced cosmetologist should proceed with caution, as improper application, insufficient blending, or the wrong choices of colors can make the face look dirty and artificial. And that certainly isn't our goal here. We want to talk for a minute about facial shapes. We know that the oval facial shape is considered to be the ideal facial shape, being 1 1/2 times as long as it is wide. Very seldom do we get the perfect facial shape. The book goes on and tells us about the other facial shapes: the round face, square-shaped face, triangular-shaped face, the inverted triangle, the diamond shape, the oblong face. Now, let's stop and talk about them for a minute. If we can imagine the square face, just like this, square, the object in hairstyling and makeup is to make it look like that oval. So what have we got to do with that square face? Get rid of the corners at the jawline and right along here. What would we do that with? What do we want to take away from the face with? What could we make those corners appear to disappear with? With the shadow effect, with a darker foundation. And that's what we've got to do with each shape. Let's assume we've got the little round face here, and we want to make it appear oval. How are we going to do it? We've got to get rid of the width here. And when we studied hairstyling, we studied putting height on the top and putting the hair close to the sides. But what can we do with the makeup? Remembering what we want to get rid of now, the wideness right here. Can we put some darker shadows here? Yes. And we can also put our indentation here on our cheeks, and then put the shadow here and the highlight effect here. So that's how we work with our facial shapes to make them appear to go away or straighten up into the oval shape. We also want to consider our forehead area. Most of the time we're going to consider that in hairstyling. But if we've got a long forehead, we can put darker foundation right along here to make some of it appear to go back into the hairline. We want to look at our nose and chin areas, and we've already talked about that. Our jawline and neck area. If we've got a real sharp chin, how can we get rid of some of the sharpness? Put some darker foundation here and some lighter here. Make this want to come out and that go in so it doesn't appear sharp anymore. And that's how we do the eyes, the eyebrows. And I want to talk just a moment about artificial eyelashes. This is not a popular service in the salon, although through the years it has picked up popularity, and then they go away and it picks them up again. But there's two types of eyelashes you can put on in the salon. That would be the individual lashes or the band lashes. The band lashes are a whole strip of eyelashes that you apply glue and just glue on right over the eyelashes. That band is going to show, so you would want to use that more for nighttime usage. You also want to remember that adhesive gets on their natural lashes. When you pull that band off, they're probably going to lose some lashes. So you want to be real careful with that. Individual lashes are dipped in the adhesive and then put in between their lashes. Eyelash adhesive is the product used to make artificial eyelashes adhere or stick to the natural lash line, not to the natural lashes themselves. Be very careful with that you're not gluing it to the natural lashes. It's on page 732. These look more natural, but make sure you're using an adhesive that the client is not allergic to or doesn't have problems with, and that you're not gluing it to the lashes they have now. Let's discuss our safety precautions. Wash your hands before and after each makeup application. Make sure you properly drape the client. You don't want makeup on their clothing. Protect their hair and skin from direct contact with the facial chair, meaning cover it up because somebody else has laid on it. Keep your fingernails smooth to avoid scratching the client's skin. Make sure you use disposable or sanitized brushes and implements. Use a shaker type container for loose powder so that you're not dipping into the powder. Powder is a bad one to hold bacteria. Pour all lotions from bottle containers. Use a clean spatula or cosmetic applicator to remove cosmetics from their containers. Never apply lip color directly from the container to the client's lips. Use a spatula or disposable applicator. We certainly don't want to be double dipping into any of our lip products and applying it to a client, and then another client comes in and doing the same thing. Make sure you use an antiseptic on tweezed areas of the eyebrow so that you avoid infection. Discard all disposable items. Place all towels, linens, makeup capes, and other items that can be washed and sanitized into the proper container. That means the container that is marked dirty or needs to be laundered. Keep your workstation sanitary, neat, and well organized. And don't forget to disinfect your countertop too, because you're laying all your implements on your countertop. Do we have some questions?